Good morning, good afternoon, welcome. I'm very pleased to be joined by Michela Beltracchi. Michela is a senior advisor at Nord Pool. Nord Pool, as most of you will know, is one of the major players, one of the major market power exchanges in Europe. And so a key part of the landscape for grids. It's going to be speaking at our forthcoming event in 12th to 13th of March, the Powergrid Europe Congress in 2025. So many thanks, Michela. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So you have a lot of experience in energy policy, environmental policy, and obviously now at Nord Pool. And maybe it's just good to give your perspective from Nord Pool and some of your thoughts around, I guess, the key work that you do in terms of providing liquidity into the market, the intraday market, and the role that has in, I guess, creating, pricing references points and enabling investors into the market. So please, over to you, Michela.
Yes, thank you very much, Nadim. So, Nord Pool has been around for about 30 years. But it is a firm that is growing and is evolving fast. So you probably know that for the past 10 years, we've been focusing exclusively on the short-term physical market. So that's the couple day ahead and intraday markets. And we've been focusing on the pan-Europeanization of this market, so creating a truly physical interconnected market. But then this year, very recently, we also announced that we are going to move again into the forward markets. So we are going to launch next year an initiative with our majority shareholder, that's Euronext, and we will launch the Euronext Nord Pool Power Futures that will offer EPADs linked to the system price for all maturities in the Nordic and Baltic areas. And so you see, basically, as a player, Nord Pool will have kind of two arms, and we look at two interlinked sides of the market. So on the one hand, our traditional one, the day ahead and intraday markets. On the other hand, the ever more important and connected forward market. So what is important for Nord Pool? For Nord Pool, clearly, we want to provide to market players, whether they be buyers or sellers, robust liquid markets that offer the most transparent signal possible and the signal that they can trust. And this signal, the day ahead and intraday signal, underpins, especially the day ahead signal, underpins then a series of other markets. So the futures market, but also is a signal for PPAs and clearly for CFDs. So our core role is that our markets need to be robust, which means the central architecture that we operate with the NEMOs and the TSOs need to be robust and able to withstand the increasing threat of cyber attacks and terroristic attacks. We need to be able to offer both on the short-term power markets and on the future markets, products that the market players want and need. And in order to do this, we need to be able to contribute to the shaping of EU regulation to make sure that it is designed in a way that it actually meets the market's needs. And that's what we can do. Then, markets are a cornerstone of the energy transition in Europe, but they cannot do everything. So the other key element that is going to be at the core of the conference is clearly the development and digitalization of the grid. And in Nord Pool, we are happy to work with that. The more the grid is developed, the better the price signals will be. We're very happy, but this is not our core business.
Yeah. And in terms of that, I guess, development of the grid, it's around ensuring the market is well designed to help alleviate points of congestion, and how does the real world sort of congestion currently reflect the actual market and the way that it functions, and what should happen to help increase, I guess, investments and unlock points of congestion and make sure that there is a lot of symbiosis between the markets and the actual grid infrastructure, I guess, across Europe and across, again, national boundaries and some of those issues.
Well, the short answer is it depends. It depends on the country. So in some countries, and I would say especially Northern Europe and in Italy, the bidding zones do reflect actual congestions. In other countries, they do not. I need to be absolutely clear, from Nord Pool's perspective, we would love to see as few bidding zones as possible, because clearly bigger bidding zones lead to increased liquidity, increased opportunity to match your trades. That's great. Unfortunately, though, the situation is such in most parts of Europe that the grid is congested and the bidding zones do not reflect this congestion. So until such time as the grid is developed to be fit for purpose, the bidding zones must reflect these congestions and therefore, in our view, need to be redesigned. Hopefully, this will be a temporary measure that is there for a number of years, not forever, just to manage the transition, to manage the congestion that will be there as long as the grid is underdeveloped. So for us, basically, revisiting the way bidding zones are designed in several key member states is absolutely crucial.
Yeah. And I guess, I mean, if you think about the ongoing demand curves and hopefully we're entering a period of, I guess, robust demand, continued demand as we see, increasing decarbonization and obviously use of heat pumps, obviously increasing renewable energy into the system, as well as electric vehicles. I guess, there should be an exciting time in terms of electricity markets. And so those bidding zones, I guess, could continually be altered to match that growth curve. But as you're saying or suggesting, maybe not altering it too much, but in order to create investments that help unlock those congestions, so maybe on a sort of 5 or 10 yearly basis that they're revised. Is that how you would see it?
Yes, no, I wouldn't know about the exact time frame right now, but certainly in light of the early Nordic experience, I would say one can't change bidding zone configuration every year or every 2 years. Investors also need some stability, and in any event, developing the grid takes time. Yeah. So I would say at least, 5 to 10 years transition and a lot of preparation for investors and market players as well.
And in terms of other areas around the sort of market players, are you seeing increasing activities? You're seeing increasing participation, maybe not just from the trading communities, but also from the actual asset owners. And how are the market dynamics been changing over the past few years?
Well, we've certainly seen an explosion of the intraday market. That is our biggest area of growth. And it's very interesting that especially in Germany, the growth of the intraday market, intraday trading in the last 60 minutes before delivery has been absolutely exponential, which is very interesting because it seems to show that asset managers, especially intermittent asset managers, do use those last 60 minutes, which is great. That's why the market was built. So we are seeing two kinds of participants, really. We are seeing asset managers, especially those with a big percentage of renewable production, but we are also seeing speculators, people, a lot of algorithmic trading, people that really try to optimize the price signal. And hopefully we will start seeing flexibility coming in.
With storage players, you mean?
Yes, absolutely. We do see a bit of that, but we would like to see a lot more.
Yeah. And in terms of other areas around the sort of functioning of the market, I mean, you're seeing increasing, I guess, development in terms of, I mean, this summer there was the shared, was it the shared trading books or order books? and how has that
yes.
impacted the market?
Yes, so basically, Nord Pool has fought very hard over the past 8 years to close a loophole that was in the network code that regulates us. It's called CACAM, Capacity Allocation and Congestion Management Network Code. A bit of a mouthful, really.
Yeah.
But basically, there was this loophole, which meant that in certain countries, only basically the incumbent power exchange / NEMO was not obliged to share their liquidity in the last 60 minutes before delivery. And that clearly is a key segment of the markets for all the reasons we've been discussing. Now, with the latest iteration of the electricity market review, so in the new electricity regulation that entered into force in July, we managed to close that loophole. And we really hope to see that we will have shared order books with all our competitors over the next few months at the very latest. To be honest, sorry, just one thing actually. The central architecture to enable the sharing is ready and operational. And Nord Pool and the new Dutch exchange, ETPA, are already exchanging order books.
Ah, okay. Excellent. Well, excellent.
So
well,
the architecture is live. Yes.
Yeah. No, it's been fascinating to talk to you and get your perspectives. It's definitely a key perspective in terms of building the future power grids, and obviously it is a journey, and it's certainly going to be critical for the role you play, and also certainly the advice you do give to regulators in helping ensure an efficient and transparent market design. So many thanks, Michela. It's been great talking to you, and we look forward to your participation. As I mentioned, you'll be speaking at our forthcoming event on the 12th and 13th of March in the Netherlands. So many thanks, Michela.
Thank you so much, Nadim. Looking forward to meeting you in person in Amsterdam.
Sì, va bene, grazie mille. Ciao.
Grazie, Nadim. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.